It got quiet. Good afternoon. Welcome to the December Resident Council meeting. It's not on? Okay. Welcome to the December Resident Council meeting. I'm Fran Baker, your president. And while Janet, our vice president, is getting ready to find new people, I'll remind you to please turn off your phones.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is an opportunity for me to welcome someone here in the village or more who have not been to our resident council meeting in person. If I could see some hands, I would come and greet you. Well, welcome, old timers. You make my job easy.
We're hoping there are a lot of people who will be watching this at home then. We'll begin with some words from Dan Rexroth, our CEO.
Thank you, Fran. And isn't it a beautiful day, a December day? Anybody been? I'm sure some of you have been outside today and seen the gorgeous weather. You need to enjoy it while we can. And also want to greet you for this holiday season. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I was able to see many of you in our restaurants on Thanksgiving Day. What wonderful meals were served at the Meadows and at Places and at Courtyard. I know at Places we had 250. I think even more than that with carryout. There was maybe over 260, and had a big group at Meadows, and Courtyard also had a very nice attendance there. So what I understand, and a lot of families, and it's always wonderful to meet families. We won't see each other, I guess, before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you. Some of you will be with family. Some of you won't be, but you have your John Knox Village family, and that's a wonderful family to have. After being here 32 years, I see all of you more than I see my family, so I do consider you to be family. So thank you for your friendship, for your fellowship, for the meaningful relationships that we have together. It's a great thing. As a part of that, promoting this community, I put together this little book, which is a compilation of emails that I've been sending to associates over the past 16 years. So it's 125 quick reads. I brought some last month for resident council, but is there anyone, I brought some copies today. Is there anyone who did not get, who would like a copy of my book that maybe wasn't here last month? Just raise your hand and I'll get you a copy. All right, I'll come around, and it's free. It's my gift to you if you would like one. So tell your friends and I've also gotten invited to a few neighborhood groups, and I'm more than happy to come. I was at the Quail Trail group just a week or so ago. I was at a couple other groups. It all becomes kind of a blur, but it's a great time for me to sit down, maybe have lunch, and chit-chat with neighborhood groups. So invite me if you'd like, and I'll talk a little bit about my book. So thank you.
And next, we have some updates from Maria Timberlake, Vice President of Senior Living.
Hi, everybody. Speaking of family, Dan, I was on the phone with Teddy Crawford, who's one of our area managers, and today is her 38th anniversary at John Knox Village. And we were reminiscing, because I've been here 34. We were mere tots when we started. And we were just talking about how intertwined our lives are. I mean, how John Knox Village is so much a part of us when, we spend all day here, and we've known people for literally decades. And that's not just associate to associate, it's associate to resident too. So kind of crazy. So yes, I do have some updates today. First of all, Gail Benet is in the back of the room, And she and the ambassadors and you all as donors all deserve a great deal of appreciation for the contribution toward the updates at the Villager Fitness Center. Did you all get out to the reception last week? What do you think? Does it look good? Very nice. So we spent a little bit of the village's pot of money on the actual space, and then the foundation gave, I believe it was $36,000 and some odd change to buy that new equipment, including those cool ones with the water resistant. So we're like up to date in Kansas City, you know. So thank you, Gail. Thank you, donors. Thank you, ambassadors. We sure appreciate your contributions on that. I do want to point out that tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. we do have the combined food group meeting up at the pavilion instead of doing the individual ones like Todd does every month. The one he did up at the pavilion, I think that was back in July, that he did combine. Residents have been asking for another one of those. And CCI is actually providing refreshments for that meeting. If you get there, that's going to start about 9 o'clock, and then the meeting will start at 9:30. So they came to us and said they had some customer appreciation money that they wanted to spend before the end of the year, and so we knew there'd be a lot of people up at the pavilion, so voila, joint event. So that's pretty cool. We have a lot of other fun holiday events. Where's Kelly? She was in the room early. There she is. I'm sure she would welcome me putting a plug in for you all paying attention to eBlast and The Voice and the Mid-Month Voice, that there's just a lot, of course, going on holiday time and a lot of opportunities to join with your neighbors. I see Steve Clark from our communications team, and he and one of our administrative assistants, Ginger Warner, and I have been working on the resident handbook, and he just told me we're going to beat the deadline. Yay. So those were due back next Friday, and looks like it's going to be Monday or Tuesday. So Ginger's going to be working with folks to deliver the new handbook to you. So I know you all read it cover to cover, right? Uh-huh. There's a new section. Well, there's a couple new sections in there, but you want to know what one of them is? That there are no water beds allowed at John Knox Village. So we actually had to add a W because that question has come up multiple times in the last year. I worked here all this time. Nobody's ever asked that question. So we're like, yes, we need to put it in the handbook. But thank you, Steve. That's a new process for us this year, and Steve's been an integral part of that. So appreciate also those of you who have volunteered to deliver the handbooks. I do also want to mention, I was talking with Brian Apoka, our Director of Public Safety, this morning, and he asked me to send out a reminder if you see something that doesn't seem right to report it to Public Safety. It's the time of year sometimes when people get a little bit desperate. We've had a couple of situations on campus. Our public safety is very present, and we really have a low rate of incidents on our campus, but it does take all of us being aware, and if you see something that just doesn't seem right, we would rather you let us know. Public safety is here 24/7 for that purpose, right? To check out things as well as do some routine efforts. Finally, I want to put a thank you in advance. I know Janet and others are working really hard to be geared up to welcome our new neighbors at the Meadows expansion. Our general contractor has run into some end of the project delays. We are pushing back some of the initial move-ins a little bit, but we will still be welcoming a couple dozen new households to the campus this month, and we're just really excited. And I know Janet and others have put together a lot of effort to try to make sure that they're really embraced by the resident council and the resident community. So I appreciate that as well. So that's what I've got. Thanks, Fran.
This is the time when we have our standing committee reports, and I don't see Joe Chase at the moment. And I know that Carol is not going to be here, Carol Jennings, so someone else is going to read her report. So we will go down the list, but we'll begin with Mary Ann Davis, Health Services.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? The Health Service Committee met on November the 9th, and Anthony Colombato began the meeting by discussing the evolution of the village health to Corona Health at JKV, and his efforts to increase Dr. Kate Twinter's involvement in healthcare for all levels of the village residents, including independent living. Dr. Twinter joined the meeting and provided information about her education, her family and her career, and areas of expertise. She is board certified in internal medicine and geriatrics and is supported by a physician's assistant, a nurse practitioner, and other support staff. In response to questions, we were informed that we can schedule appointments with Dr. Twinter or someone on her staff, even if we've already have a primary care physician we like and just need to see someone quickly for a bad cold, earache, or something of that type. Dr. Twinter's staff will coordinate with our primary care physician. On the other hand, if we do not have a primary care physician or are unhappy with ours, we can sign up with Dr. Twinter. She and her associates will not replace current cardiologists or other specialties, but will coordinate with them. Medical information can be shared between local doctors and hospitals to assure that all care providers for a patient are on the same page. Mr. Colombato explained that Corona is committed to supporting Dr. Twinter's practice at John Knox Village. While she does not currently have an office at the village, she does see independent living patients in their homes, makes home visits. I can remember when they used to do that. She provided materials for signing up with her as a primary physician, a business card with her phone number, which is currently answered 24 hours a day. Mr. Colombato said that as Tiffany Speaks is no longer at the village, he is currently the home health administrator. His office is on the second floor of the Villager complex, and the best way to reach him is by email. His plans are to stay in that job for 2 to 3 months to learn all aspects of that department. The position has not been posted yet. Anthony updated the committee on the recent COVID outbreak. Unfortunately, at the time of the meeting, there had been 7 deaths from COVID, with the worst outbreaks in the memory care units. Asked about staffing at VCC, he said it is okay, but they are using a lot of agency personnel, which is more expensive, and continuity of care is more challenging. Our next meeting will be a very short meeting with Christmas refreshments and gifts that will be going to the VCC residents. So we wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Hello. The nominating committee met on November 1st. The members made a thorough review of the timetables and procedures required to finalize the election of resident council officers for the next 2 fiscal years. The nominating committee chair, me, will announce at the November executive meeting that the committee's candidates for resident council president is Janet Kroll, and Joe Chase is the committee's nominee for resident council vice president. Both have agreed to be nominated for these offices and will provide their resumes. A notice will appear, and it has, in the December Village Voice that the committee will accept additional qualified nominations through December 2022. The resident council reporter submits the candidates' names and resumes for the January Village Voice. If there are no other nominations, the neighborhood representatives will affirm the election, and it will be announced at the March Resident Council General Meeting. If an election is necessary, the neighborhood representatives will vote by written ballot, and the result will be announced at the March General Meeting. As it is this committee's responsibility to maintain accurate records of each resident council's committee's membership, 2 new members were added to the Finance Committee's roster. Our next meeting will be January 3rd. Thank you.
I'm Sandy Hunt. I'm the resident council secretary, and I'm reading the minutes from the report that Carol Jennings gave at our executive committee meeting. Carol reported that the committee met on November 14th, 2022, and there were 14 members present with 4 excused. Also present were Maria Timberlake, Vice President of Senior Living, Kelly Snell, Director of Life Enrichment, Melissa McKay, Lifestyle Supervisor, and Diane Demarest, the Board Liaison. Maria Timberlake asked the committee to use their December meeting to consider how to best present the situation to residents that will be caused by the sale of CCI to Everfast, and how this will affect the JKV community. The date of that meeting is tentatively set for December the 12th. Kelly Snell presented the problem of no shows at many of the programs. Have to think about that one a little bit. Kelly presented the problem of no shows at many programs and movies where reservations are required. Calling those registered to attend to remind them of their planned attendance has helped somewhat. Now her department is trying to find out how residents would prefer to be reminded, either by text or by email or by phone. The committee members, John Laney and Dan Finn, presented a proposal to include in each month's agenda time for updates on selected priority concerns of residents relating to the Senior Living Business Unit. This would be in addition to the update now given monthly by Maria. There was discussion, both pro and con, but the committee's final decision was that because there are already a number of advisory committees and resources for residents to air their concerns, there was no need for this to be a permanent part of the committee's agenda. The meeting adjourned, and this committee will meet again on December the 12th, 2021. Oops, 22.
You don't know if we're going forward or backwards. While Anna Margaret is coming up here, I was reminded that the Finance Committee did not meet, therefore there was no report today.
And next month, a whole bunch of us are not going to meet, so. The Sales, Marketing, and Communication Committee met on November the 17th in the Manhattan Room with 11 members present and 2 visitors. Also present were Mary Beth Roberts, Director of Sales, Marketing, and Communications, and Eric Scott, Director of Operations and Development. Mary Beth presented the sales report for October, saying it was a good month for sales, beating the goal by 2. One more Phase 8 villa sold, bringing the total to 6. Meadows 2 remains at 46 units sold. Campus-wide move-ins were at goal of 13. There were 9 vacancies, 3 more than goal. Paying units for October totaled 846, 2 less than the goal. The lead generation was strong, beating the goal by 11. Volunteers staff skip that. Our speaker, Eric Scott, gave an update on the renovation of the Village Inn complex. The most visible update is the Dial-A-Ride drop-off lane at the entrance of Places. New windows, 66, have been purchased, and necessary roof repairs have been done. HVAC equipment is on order, and the fitness center has new paint, carpet, and lighting, with the new fitness equipment being provided by JKV Foundation. Coming next will be the final selections of new paint and flooring in the corners of Villager North, East, and West, with bids in December and work to start after the holidays. Design process for Places renovation, which includes the lobby, the waiting area, the restrooms, Manhattan Gallery, and plaza rooms, is about 85% complete. The plan is to finish the drawings and put out for bid after the first of the year for a spring construction start. Renovation of the salon will happen in conjunction with Places renovation. Updates for the bowling alley are being finalized. A concern regarding a weather cover over the sidewalk at the new drop-off at Places was discussed. Eric indicated that at this time there are no plans for the drop-off problem. There will be no meeting in December. Our next meeting will be January the 19th, 2023 at 9:30 in the Manhattan Room. And if you're interested, please give me a call. We'd love to have you come.
All right, next we'll have our report by Diane Demris from the ambassadors.
Good afternoon. Better turn this, hadn't I? I hope you'll please excuse my husky voice. Somebody the other day said I sounded like Jeremy the bullfrog, but I think I've improved a little. The ambassadors met this past Friday with Laurie Johnson, our Vice President of Human Resources, as our guest speaker. Laurie, as I'm sure you would acknowledge and know, that has a lot of challenges this past almost 3 years since the beginning of the pandemic with hiring and retaining employees. She did give us a nice update, and it's encouraging. She also told us about an associate appreciation gathering they had for all associates, part-time and full-time, where John Knox had given them a gift card for Christmas. And I think that is so great. And I think that's a good reminder maybe for you and me, for all of us, to show our appreciation to our associates. They do so much for us. And sometimes we just maybe aren't as appreciative as we should be. I also want to remind you that the drawing for the beautiful Christmas quilt, it's not too late. The quilt tickets or forms to fill out for the drawing are available up at the concierge desk at the courtyard, as well as if you drop by the foundation office, and you can fill one out and put it in for only $5. And this beautiful Christmas quilt might be yours. The drawing will be December 14th, and I'm sure it'll be announced in the Village Daily E-Blast as who the winner might be. Excuse me. Hopefully most of you were at the wonderful gala, Born to be Wild, and one of the most fun auction items was the bid on being a guest conductor at the Lee Summit Symphony Christmas concert. And our own Ted Scott, Janet's husband, was the lucky bidder. He will be conducting some of the music at the Christmas concert December 17th. And I believe Steve and some of his people will be videotaping this, and it will be given to Channel 5. Channel 5 is very interested in going to do a story about the guest conductor in the Lee Summit Symphony. So congratulations, Ted. We're really excited about seeing you up there conducting this. And we do appreciate your bidding on that item. So, and certainly, this is maybe last but not least, I want to remind you as you think about maybe your year-end donations to different organizations and to charities, to remember and think about the John Knox Foundation. They have done so much for so many residents over the years and continue to do so. So I know any donation or contribution to the foundation would be greatly appreciated. So on behalf of all the ambassadors, I want to say I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. Thank you.
Our speaker today is Andrea Smith, manager of salon services at John Knox, and we're going to learn about all the wonderful things they have to offer besides just a haircut. So, Andrea.
Thanks for the invite today. First of all, before I start my PowerPoint presentation, I apologize, I'm rusty at this. It's been a while since I've even created a PowerPoint presentation, so bear with me. I also want to thank you guys through the crazy staffing challenges that we've had, for sticking through with us through the appointment changes and the rearranging. It's definitely been nuts and not ideal, but we've made it work. Also, the patience on our retail product and things that you're wanting to order and we're not able to get it or having to substitute it, same thing. I appreciate your patience through that, and I think we've got some really good things coming up soon to where we can make sure you have those things on hand. So let's go ahead and get into this PowerPoint presentation and kind of give you an idea as to what's going on in the salons. We have 3 independent living salons, so I'd like to introduce our stylists. We have Rosemary Garcia. She works primarily in the Village Salon. Rosemary has a huge following, so if you ever visit her in the salon, it's ideal to go ahead and get your next appointment scheduled before you leave. She has been with us for 7 years now. She is excellent with everything that she does. She does a lot of pedicures and manicures, highlighting and hair color. She does not ever skip a beat when there's education involved with trying to learn new products and techniques. So Rosemary Garcia, Villager Salon. Skylar is our newest stylist at Courtyard Salon. She's been here a little over a month now, and she is definitely learning and getting acclimated to her space and meeting all of the new residents. She actually graduated from Paul Mitchell School, and I will kind of go back to that here in just a moment. That'll be a plus. She does have training in all areas of the salon world, but her most favorite thing to do is doing hair color. So if you're get your hair colored, definitely Skylar would be the one for you. I did want to point out that we have been getting a lot of pride cards for all of the stylists, but I did want to point out with Skylar being so new, one of the latest ones that I had received about Skylar did say that she has a kind and caring attitude and that we're lucky to have a wonderful addition to the JKV community. So I also agree with that. So Courtyard Salon full-time stylist is Skylar. And Melanie Quinn, she is currently helping us out in the Country Club Salon, which is close to Lakeside Grill. She usually works at our care center, and she is fantastic at everything that she does. She does an excellent consultation, so if you ever don't quite know how to get the end result and what you're wanting, she's the one for you. She can actually dissect with what your needs are and the conversation. She'll make sure that she knows exactly what you're wanting before she gets started. I do want to point out that we are so appreciative of her to help us in the independent living salons right now. She has definitely spread the love throughout the John Knox Village campus, and we are excited for her to also get back full-time to the care center soon, because we have just hired a new full-time stylist to take over Country Club Salon, and then 1 day a week in Villager Salon and 1 day a week in Courtyard. Her name is Stephanie Harris, and she will start with us tomorrow in orientation. So before too long, I would say by next week, you may stop by if you're over in that area at Country Club Salon and welcome her to the Village. She does bring 20 years of service behind the chair, so she definitely has a lot of expertise in being in the salon. So Melanie Quinn, she will be leaving us before too long to go back and help at our care center again. Salon hours, pretty much you can find a salon appointment Monday through Friday at any one of the 3 independent living salons. I do want to point out a couple changes recently. We have kind of the Country Club Salon. We have only been open 3 days a week over there, which has been doing okay. And then Villager Salon is now only open Tuesday through Friday right now. We're trying to figure out how those hours are working and making sure that we have enough help everywhere in our village with our salon services through our staffing challenges. Concierge desk, I can't say enough for them. They have helped us tremendously, saving time and having the stylists be able to focus completely on their appointments instead of answering the phone and scheduling appointments. It's been huge. We also, with the help of the concierge, having the reminder calls every evening has helped so much, reduce any of the no-shows or forgotten appointments. You can schedule your appointments easily even after the hours of the salons and on the weekends, so that's a huge help as well. And anytime you're calling the salon, if it's not going straight to the concierge, any of the salons in the independent living salons will ring or roll over to the concierge desk. So we will make sure that your call is answered and you don't have to wait for a call back usually or leave a message. So another huge benefit. All of our independent living salons offer complimentary beverages. We even offer beer and wine. So if your stylist hasn't brought it up to you, you are always welcome to ask for a beverage when you're visiting. We also don't leave the men out. What's trending for men is that you all need your toenails and your manicures and all of that done too. So that is available. We have seen an increase in serving the men with getting their toenails trimmed. It's very nice, and you know that it's done right. And it does feel like you're getting pampered. You get a little bit of a massage with it too, and it's very nice. And I also wanted to point out too, anytime you're getting a haircut in any of our independent living salons, you also will get your ears and your neck trimmed, and that will all be included as well. 2 fun things that you might want to add on when you're scheduling your next salon appointment. We have a spa pedicure. We do a lot of express pedicures, but our spa pedicure actually offers a foot mask as well. There's a lot of benefits with the foot mask. It feels amazing, number one, but it also pulls out any impurities, and it helps boost circulation. So there's health benefits for using it as well. And then paraffin wax, we have kind of introduced that to you just recently, but that can actually be added on to your pedicure or your manicure. So you can get your feet or your hands dipped with wax, and that feels amazing too. Really, really hydrates. So if you have any cracked heels or your hands are getting dry through the winter, you should definitely add on a paraffin wax. And then one other fun little item that's not mentioned a lot, but we do offer in all of the independent living salons is eyebrow tinting. This is fantastic. It's smudge proof. It lasts about 6 weeks. And what it does is it just kind of fills in your eyebrow and gives you the color that you need instead of having to pencil that in with makeup. So that's a fun thing to add to your salon appointments as well. The only thing that I have to add is that you have to have the eyebrow in order for it to work. Gift certificates, you can order these at any of the concierge desks, or something that's fun if your family's asking what you want for Christmas or a birthday. A gift certificate can be used in the fitness center, in the activities, in your salon, so it's definitely ideal to be able to use anywhere, and then you can get your services that you're needing or wanting, and you know that you'll enjoy those services. I've been doing a lot of research lately to see which product line is better for us financially, and also having the product on hand and making sure that we can get what we need. And currently, we are looking into switching over to Paul Mitchell. So like I mentioned, Skylar, our newest stylist in Courtyard Salon, she actually came from a Paul Mitchell school, so that actually sets her a little bit higher up than any of us that have been working in the salons, because she has a lot more knowledge about the product and the hair color. So with this being said, we actually, a couple reasons why it would save us money in our finances is that you can actually order it in bulk, and instead of Redken, we're only able to get it in liter size right now for our shampoo. But if we switched over to Paul Mitchell, they have so many more options for us, and you can buy it in bulk and bigger products. You can get your shampoo in gallon sizes, which saves a ton of money. They even have pet shampoo in product too. I thought that was cute. For retail, of course. I just kind of threw up the salon pricing and menu to just kind of show what we offer. We definitely have more things available than just haircuts. We do a lot of styling and perms, hair color, any of our spa services like pedicures and manicures, toenail trims, and whatnot. Things to come in FY24. So coming soon, we are going to have the Villager renovation, which was touched on earlier. A couple things to point out with that I'm super excited about that we've never had on campus is that you will be able to actually get a pedicure with a friend or a family member, because we'll have 2 pedi thrones and 2 manicure stations. So we've not really had that available for you guys, and this will be nice. It won't be a portable type of anything. It'll be actual pedi thrones to where you can sit down and have the whole deal. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, changing our product line, like I had mentioned, still working on ironing out all the details with that, but it is in the works, and I think it's going to be a great comparable product line for us. I don't know if anyone's ever used Paul Mitchell in the past, but it's an excellent product and professional. And then I do want to touch base on, we will be doing a price increase on our salon services. I did do a very honest evaluation of our business and discovered that we do need to increase our prices based off the market and also how much product's costing these days as well. A couple reasons that this is hugely important is because we are still trying to recruit people to work at John Knox Village, and we have to keep up with the market. These girls work on 100% commission, so it has to be comparable to other salons. And then also, too, we need to retain all of our stylists that we currently have. We don't need them jumping ship going to other salons. We need to make sure that they're getting their commission is competitively priced as well. So that will be coming out soon on what those price increases will be. And again, they definitely weren't blindly done. They were based off what is going on in the market. Also, before I close, I do want to tell you 2 other things. We're still recruiting, although we've hired another full-time stylist. We are still recruiting and trying to get another 2 part-time stylists for our licensed care. And then also for independent living salons as well. And we do have volunteer opportunities, which really truly helps out the girls in the salons. We have licensed care opportunities where you would escort back and forth from the salon. And then we also have in the independent living salon some opportunities where you would help sweep up hair sometimes, fold towels, get beverages for the residents that are coming in for their appointments and all that. So if you have any interest or you know somebody who would like to volunteer, you can send them my way. And same thing with recruiting. You pass along that we're still looking for great stylists. And we've got some really good added benefits at John Knox Village, not to mention being part of John Knox Village family. But also, we don't work evenings or weekends at this time. We have benefits and paid time off, so that really is a little bit higher up than some of the salons out there for us. So, any questions? Yeah, one more? Nope. Thank you so much.
So I think that gift card might be a great idea. Somebody tell Santa. Our next meeting is a little off schedule. It should be January 2nd. However, that's the day we celebrate January 1st. So we will meet January 9th at 2 o'clock, and Brian Apoca will be here. He's going to give us some insight into what is expected during the routine shift by our security people. I know I've heard some people say, well, they just drive around and, I don't know what they do all day. So they do many things, and we'll find out about that. I do have to apologize because I understand that John Knox Theater Group is auditioning on January 9th at 2 o'clock. And we really like having all of you here, but we also like having the plays. So if you want to go audition, please do that, and you can catch this on TV later. So we will see, we hope, January 9th. Have a good holiday.